Good afternoon. How are you today? I hope you've been very well. I know what you're thinking before you say it. Elle, your hair is fleeky. Why is it fleeky? And you're just gonna have to trust me that when I take out the curls that I've pinned back, it looks really fun. Today I have some errands to run. So I'm gonna do my makeup, look as pretty as I can, and then go buy a lip balm or whatever. Last week I said something about doing a green look, and every time I want to do a green look I get so excited because my eyes are green and it makes them pop, but I don't have many green shadows, just the ones from the Gemini palette, so we're going to use them again. And I'm going to try and do a gradient look. It'll be like a 2-in-1 kind of look. One is going to stay matte, and then if you want more shimmery shiny, we'll go to look 2, which is just adding shimmer and shine to it. I do like greens on eyes. It's like khakis and greens and browns and stuff. It's the most natural of the unnatural colors, which sounds weird because green is a natural color. Every color except magenta is a natural color. But like, if you want to do more earthy looks, green is a good color to go by, blue is not, kind of thing. So excited to get into that. The only thing is that my black mascara right now, I'm pushing it with how little of it is left, so I'm probably going to use a brown mascara, which won't exactly make the eyes pop. And because I'm going out for errands, I'm not going to wear lashes, mostly because it's really windy out there, and lashes when it's windy, it's just a nightmare. The main gist of the look today is, I don't want to say dirty green because it's like, I don't think it's dirty, it's more earthy green. This is for 2 reasons. One, because I like those greens better than bright greens, but also because I don't actually have bright greens. You all know the Gemini palette, and if you don't, you will. But since that palette only has 3 greens, I'm going to use all of them. In terms of complexion products, everything that I use is going to be written below, but because I haven't changed anything recently, I'm not going to sit and waste your time with the exact same products. But I am thinking of adding a step to my skincare. For those of you who don't know, or you haven't been here for long, or this is the first video of mine that you're seeing, welcome. I use Paula's Choice primarily as my skincare routine, and it has repaired my skin like a wild amount. And I just found out, because I searched if they had one, and they do, they have a collagen oil. So I'm going to be adding that to my skincare routine because it's good for you. It makes your skin plump and youthful, and I'm not somebody who enjoys wearing dewy makeup and dewy products, so hopefully it can just be like a night routine kind of thing for me. Yeah, I'm thinking of changing my, what's it called? Eye cream. I'm thinking of changing my eye cream as well. As much as I've been loving the one that I've been using, I miss using vitamin C. I miss brightening up my under eye. I feel like they're just hollow. It could just be me seeing it that way, but I remember not really liking Paula's Choice's vitamin C eye cream, so I'm still thinking about it. I'm still weighing the pros and cons. It dried out my eyes a lot the last time, but in the meantime, I've been using another eye cream, so maybe my eye skin changed. While I do my bronzer, I want to mention in the summertime, well, when summer comes around again for us, which is really in September, from September to like February, it gets really warm and hot and whatever. I do want to try using more liquid-based products. It always feels kind of dreadful wearing powders and foundations and everything in the summer. I do it because I like wearing makeup, but I do prefer to travel light. And I want to try different techniques of bronzing. I was never really a fan of the blush or bronzer over the nose thing, but I want to try different ways of bronzing, which I think can be more easily achieved with creams. So in a few months, when I actually invest in those products, stay tuned, because I'm going to play with bronzing and contouring and show you how that changes the face. Because I've seen a few people with my face shape bronze a little differently, wherein they bring the bronzer down. What's this part of the face called? Jowl? This is jowl. They bring it across the cheekbone and down, and I always thought that that made the face look longer, and that's what I'm trying to avoid, but maybe it just adds structure to an already structured face and it's dynamic, so we'll see. But I feel like with powders are different. You run the risk of having it looking like dirt in the wrong lighting. Powders don't really work well for stuff like that, which means if I do it and it works, then I'll be doing either liquid base or cream base bronzing, which is kind of frightening when you have oily skin, but you know, especially in the summer, but whatever kind of makeup artist would I be if I didn't, you know, expand my horizons a little. I also wonder if when I do bronze that way, if I'm gonna need to bronze under the neck, under the chin. I do this now to bring the look together, but if I do it the other way, maybe I'll look like a robot, which means that I'm kind of on the lookout for bronzing creams and liquids. Probably liquids. Liquids feel more appealing on oily skin, and they look more appealing because they're very lightweight, but wearing liquids and then going out all day when you have oily skin, the makeup begins to separate. This you already know because I've said it before, and if you don't know, that's what happens. So creams are the way to go, unfortunately. But I have to find a lightweight cream, and that takes a lot of trial and error, a lot of research. But don't worry, you can count on me. Which also leaves room for a liquid blush, which I'm not using today, but I will need to, so I can blend my blush and my bronzer together. Maybe that's when I'll go on a highlight scout. I still haven't even tried looking for a good highlight. Mainly because lately, where do I go? I go to work. Sometimes I go out dancing. Sometimes I go out to see friends, but mainly I'm going to work. Brushing through my eyebrows with a spoolie because I'm still trying to grow them out. Maybe I should just go get them done professionally anyway, despite them not being the same at all. Maybe they'll just make them very thin. I'll look scary for a couple weeks. And then I'll just have to deal with the remnants of my disaster. Yeah, in the meantime, let me just do what I can to fill out what I can of my eyebrow. I wonder if I make this thicker, will it also make it look bigger? Will you be ashamed of me if I go out with eyebrows like this? Alright, so as I mentioned before, this look is going to be in two parts. The Gemini palette will be the matte portion, and I'm gonna go in with the original Naked palette, which is discontinued now, so you're gonna have to fend for yourself if you choose this route, unless you have this palette. There's not much else I can do. These are the closest colors that I have in shimmer. I'm gonna start by taking my fluffy brush and the color Mochi. Keep the application onto the inner eye. This isn't going to be a smoky eye. It's going to be a gradient, sort of like a classic eye where it's lighter in the center of the face and darker on the outside. But we're going to use 3 colors to gradient the shape out. So apply it, I would say, by blotting, because blotting distributes the most color and then you can swipe it out to buff it out like after. And based on your eye shape, you can take it up as high as you wish. I'm going to take it up to my eyebrow. Keeping the concentrate on the inner corner and blending it up and out. Trying to keep it as consistent and as even as you can. Try not to bring it too far out if you can, but it doesn't really matter if you do because the next color is darker, so it's going to cover it anyway. This also might be one of those looks where if you're worried about fallout, you can choose to do the eyes first, but every time I've used Melt Cosmetics, okay, let's be honest, all I've owned is the Gemini palette for now, but every time I use it, it doesn't give me fallout, so if you're using this palette, you have nothing to worry about. The next step is going in with Fire OG, this one. I'm going to use the same brush, and I'm going to, again, tap into it, remove the excess. This is going to be, I guess you can call it a transition color. It's the center color of the 3 colors. Whoa, did I just tap into Leo? Yeah, it's the center color of the 3 colors we're using today. So apply that to the center and buff it up and out on either direction. I really hope I didn't accidentally tap into Leo though. I think I did. I think that's why there's a dark spot. Damn. No, I didn't. That's just the color. Okay, making sure that I'm distributing this evenly across the lid because this little dark spot here needs to be not there. And then with a dense fluffy brush, taking Leo and creating that outer V dip, that darkness. And I'm just applying some under the eye to connect the upper lid and the lower lid. Did you hear that? That was my wrist. And I'm just extending that a little bit. Give me a second here to wipe down this brush that I used before because I want to go back in with Mochi, which was that first color. And I want to add more of that on the inner corner. Now, I want to say that because I'm going to go in with shimmers after this, I'm not too worried about how the blend looks now. But if you're not interested in going in with the shimmers, the blend is important, or else these little spots that I've done are going to haunt you in your dreams. Once again, I've taken the lower eyelid shadow pretty low because I like that. I like being able to see the color. I like buffing it out like crazy. You don't have to go that far. But I'm doing it now for a little bit of color so I know where I'm going, and I'm going to touch it up a little later as well. Especially because for some reason I can never get this side dark enough. I'm going to take my pencil brush, Mochi. I'm using Mochi first. I'm also going to use Fire OG in the middle, but I'm using Mochi first because it's lighter. And by lighter, different color completely. Adding Fire OG in the middle here to blend Mochi with Leo, it's going to be a very subtle transition. It's under the eye, so no one's really going to see it unless you're bringing it out further than I am. But I feel like if you don't do some things, that's more noticeable than if you do them. Like, if you don't do blush, that's more noticeable than when you do blush. I didn't add anything extra, by the way. Whatever is on this brush, which at the moment is a mix of Fire OG and Mochi, which is fine because it's a blend, whatever. I'm still using the same colors. Using the same pencil brush and tapping into Leo, I'm just going to touch up and darken the outer part of the eyelid just to create more depth and dimension and to connect the two together. At this point, you can do your mascara, apply your lashes, inner waterline, what have you. I'm going to add the shimmers. So if you don't add the shimmers, you can skip forward to the part where I do everything else, which is literally just going to be mascara. But if you are here to use shimmers, Naked palette by Urban Decay, the OG palette, which I've hit pan on 3 of these colors. I've actually completely finished 1 of them, but we're using these 2 today. And I'm also going to use Goals in the Gemini palette. Goals is going to be in the inside. Smog, this color here. Nope. This one. This color here is going to be in the middle, and Dark Horse, this dark shimmer, is going to be on the outside. I know these are golds and browns, but if you look closely, if the camera lets you see it, sorry about all the messy. It's very olive tone and green base golds. So that's why I'm going to use them. I'm going to start with golds. Does this brush have red on it? I'm using a flat applicator brush. I feel like normally I'd use a face spray to really pack on that color, but I don't have a face spray today, so I'm just gonna go in dry. But this is more of a dusting anyway, so what we're trying to do, and if I don't like it, by the way, I'm probably will go in with a setting spray and use it. If you can hear my dryer, I'm really sorry, but not so sorry that I'm gonna go switch it off because I need those clothes for work. Yeah, it's giving the effect that I want it to without adding the extra setting spray or rose water or whatever you use to make the brush damp. I just wanted a light sheen of glitter. Let me just fix that up. Concentrating it in that dip and bringing it out. It does add a nice color to it as well, but I didn't want it to be bold, shiny green. I wanted it to be a dusting. If it was put on top of green eyeshadow, I think it would have been bolder, but Goals has gold and green in it, and since it's going on top of Mochi, all these colors complement each other and it's gonna look great anyway. Then I'm just wiping that brush on the tissue because I'm gonna use the same brush. Using Smog, this one here. Again, no setting spray or rose water to wet it, but I'm gonna do a light dusting over the center. And what I'm doing is I am concentrating it in the center of the eye, kind of like how you do a halo eye, but I am mixing it in with Goals and also extending it a little further past the center so it can mix with Dark Horse, which we're using next. Looks like this. I love them because in the dark or when you're not in direct light, they're very subtle, but then once you hit the light and they're shiny and shimmery, it's really cool. I find myself double taking when I see eyeshadow like this, when I think that it's matte and dark, and then they look into the light and holy crap, it's shiny. And then going in with Dark Horse. This one. And the same deal, tapping off excess and bringing that out. Although with this one, start where you left off with the last eyeshadow and just taper it out. You don't want to create a whole new shape on top of the shape you've already created. You just want to dust. Again, we're just dusting. So here I'm starting 3/4 out. Again, blending out this way and in this way. Tapping back into Leo to make this more of a straight line before I do what I'm about to do. And I'm going to use the same brush here to tap into Goals, which is that shiny green from the Gemini palette, and applying it over Mochi. Hang on, I need my mirror. Again, I'm not wetting the brush, I'm just dusting it across. I got glitter in my eye, and I'm making sure to get it in the inner eye as well, so it looks like we've made the effort to put an inner eye highlight. Then taking the same brush in Smog, and I mean, you know what I'm doing. I'm going over the colors that I went over and I'm just making them shiny. Smog in the center. With the center, you don't have to do too much blending because it'll probably irritate your eye. It's just there to be there. And then Dark Horse at the end. Alrighty then. I wasn't going to do a black line, but I don't think you'll be able to see a brown one. Let me try. I have the Fenty Flyliner in both in Big Truffle and because I'm black. Let me just see. I'm going to use the brown because I have more brown mascara, and from close up, this is a very cool contrast. But let me make it clear that if you do have a working black mascara, it's going to look really sick with black. I think this is the most easily seen eyeliner that I've ever done, and you can't see it because it's lighter than the eyeshadow. But from close up, it looks really sick. What I might do actually is just bring the line across the whole lid. Not thick, but so it doesn't look like it's starting out of nowhere. The only inner waterline liner that I have is a black one, which I feel like if I do it, it's gonna ruin it. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not risking it. Okay, mascara. The Better Than Sex mascara in chocolate. I do need to get a brown waterline liner. It's so exciting when a mascara is so full of product. I should probably wear brown mascara to work tomorrow. I feel like a fairy. Mascara in the upper and lower lashes because we like the drama. For lips, this is the NARS lip gloss. I don't know what it's actually called. It just says Nympho in the bottom. It's a sheer lip gloss. And I'm not going to put a lot of this on. I'm just putting it on like in the middle. Hang on. I need my lips to apply things and I need them to talk. So what happens is my foundation gets on my lips and it looks like I have no lips, which makes me look dead. Applying very little product into the middle and then blending it out, tapering it out. Just a little color. So it looks like we like living. Does anyone else hear a ringing? Setting everything with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. And today I am going overboard with it because, like I said, I have no niacinamide oil, which means that my face has a shelf life of maybe a couple hours. Final touches with the Laura Mercier's setting powder, the Ultra Blur setting powder. After it's dried, I go over the top because I need to protect my face against the elements of oil and heat and sweat. This is the final look for this week. I hope you liked it. I hope I was able to teach you something new or at least inspire you to use greens and browns together, which I'm not gonna lie, I had my doubts. I don't anymore. This one actually turned out a lot more fun for me to film. I had like the idea of it in my mind, but I didn't think I would take risks with the brown, and I like that I did. I feel very earthy and it's so much fun. Alright, that's all for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, and if you'd like to see more, consider subscribing. I will see you in the next one. Bye. Mwah.